Hey, Taurus, welcome, welcome. Throwing cards all over the place here. How are you guys doing? All right. So, my name is Patty. For those that are brand new watching my channel for a first time, I appreciate you for coming in. I appreciate that so very much. I thank you for all you guys who are returning and who have subscribed. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, for those of you that are new, I am an intuitive tarot reader. I am an empath. And so, what I do is do everything through the divine. Divine is uh, always here with us, but the wisdom, the knowledge, and everything I get from the other side is what my tarot reading is about, along with I incorporate the energy of astrology and numerology. I think it's really important to gather all the energies. However, we should always, always, always go to the divine for our first source, not through anything that is earthbound. So let's get started. This is the 5th through the 11th. I can't believe it. I'm recording this on the 31st, so we are still in the full moon energies, stronger energies, put it that way. And this will probably go until about the 3rd or 4th. If you haven't seen the video on the full moon, please go back and watch it, because you're going to see that it's going to really, really, if you don't get some of the stuff in your reading, if you go back and see the full moon, you'll understand it, and you might want to come back and watch your reading, because it will make a big difference. All right. So, because these energies are going to be going all the way into April and even 2 months or so after. So these energies are not just for the next week. Like I usually say with my forward energy, as far as our future energy card, but it will be more for 1 or 2 weeks. All right. So we're going to pull, for those who are brand new, these are oracles. If you don't know what an oracle is, it's a different type of card. It's not the tarot cards. It is a rendition of the artist and how they perceive certain things. But these oracles, I'm going to pick the divine oracle, a current energy oracle, which would be the 5th through the 11th. And then the future oracle is going to be, again, future, but it is going not to just be the weekend or next week. It's going to be carried through for about 2 months. 3 months. I say 2-3 months. I just keep hearing 2-3 months, 2-3 months. So anyway, so that's where that goes. All right, so this future card for the divine is the Bard. Okay, now the Bard showed up in Virgos, I believe, and it showed up as a future energy. However, this is your story. This is about music, poetry, myth, science, enchanted storytelling. This is your footprint. So the divine is saying, what kind of footprint are you going to leave on that big green ball? What kind of energy are you going to bring forth? It is also the number 7, which is about your ambition, your potential. This is about your purpose, your calling. Are you actually walking in your purpose? Are you walking in your calling? What is it? Are you actually walking in a higher vibration? Are you walking in lower vibration? And for you that don't know that, if are new to it, lower vibration, just think of it being negative energies. You have a battery that has negative and positive, and you can either attract them, or you can actually do positive, and it's like, stay away from me. Same with negative, stay away from me. That kind of a thing. This is kind of energy with a negative or low vibrational energy. You're pushing opportunities and people away. Now, do you want to leave that footprint? Footprint meaning legacy, for those that don't understand. When you leave this earth, what do you want people to think of you about? Okay, this was actually in the Virgos, and that's the number 1 energy. That was the future energy for Virgos, but this is actually your first energy. This is the thing you really need to be thinking about in the future, because that can change your mindset like that. So if you need to change your life's mindset around, it's like, okay, do I want people to remember me this way? That kind of a thing. Current energy, which I can see could be stumbling, and I'll share this, thank you, in a minute, is that the stag. And the stag is about pride and leadership. This has shown up a lot this week, 2 or 3 times actually. And the stag is about pride and leadership. Then we talk about pride. What is pride? Ego. And pride, you will lose out on opportunities again, because your pride is so, I can do it myself. I did it myself. I do everything by myself. Or, that independence of being too prideful. But it also could turn around and saying, you know what, I'm more humble. I don't need all that pride. I don't have to rely on pride. And that I am a leader of whatever. Or are you following leadership that is really prideful? Or are you following leadership that actually has a humble attitude, that actually lifts people up as a team, rather than creates fear in a team? If you're at work or at school and you create fear in that, so then you manipulate to make things happen out of fear. Okay, this is an energy. What footprint do you want to leave if you are a boss or a leader or moving into a position of leadership? How do you want to be remembered as that boss? Man, he was a good boss, but he was a fair boss. She was a really good boss, but she was an understanding boss. Even though you had her ways, or she was stubborn in certain ways, she had her reasons why she did those, but you know what? She was really fair. Okay. Future energy, which is going to happen for the next couple of months, which would not be surprising, is that's the number 8 also. Again, that's your progress. It's going to take time for your mindset to change also. Okay. So the future energy is the swan, which is the number 3. Have to acknowledge that there is a process. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen and grow for a reason. And that progress is dependent on you. Not me. That's you and the divine. Whether you allow the divine to help you, work with you, that you work in your purpose, your calling, or you stick to earth. Earth is a mindset. All right. This is also, too, the swan is also about growing your spiritual gifts. The swan on here in this deck is psychic gifts. I don't like the word psychic, as I tell everybody. I just don't. I think it has a negative connotation because of humans did that. Same with tarot, because tarot actually has a negative connotation out there because humans made the spin on it to sound negative. If you really look at the history of tarot, it was not that way at all. It was actually more angelic and more of a higher vibrational thing. So I don't like the word psychic. I am clairvoyant at some things, but I don't think we can be psychic in everything, or clairvoyant in everything. The divine gives us our clairvoyance when we need it, or when he chooses to give it to us. Yeah. High Priestess, first card out. Divine. Queen of Wands. Again, the Queen of Wands is a very interesting queen because she is about going around and sharing things. Oh, thank you. And what an interesting thing. So I looked at the bard. They said, look at the bard, look at the High Priestess, and look at the queen. I'm like, okay. And then the download came. Who is going to either become a spiritual leader, a pastor, a minister, who is going to be leading people? Again, somebody's got a seed planted that they want to go and teach some type of spiritual walk in their life. Again, this is about storytelling. If you look at any spiritual leader, whether you look at them as a pastor, a minister, priest, whoever, or if you look at a shaman, anything like that, they're storytelling. They're telling things of wisdom from other places and other ways. Buddha, Shintoism, those kind of a thing. But somebody is going to be going around and sharing their story, sharing their divine wisdom. This is an awesome thing. This is an awesome thing because it has to do with your gifts. This is awesome. So whether you're doing it on YouTube, whether you're doing it, because when I was talking to Vine about went back in 2019, right at the end of the year, and he said, go and teach. I'm like, teach what? I think I told you guys this story. But the thing is that he said, go and teach. And I'm like, what do you want me to teach? Long story short, I didn't know what I was going to be teaching. And then I said, okay, well, I don't go on TV. I don't do videos. I don't do photographs. Don't photograph me. Don't video me. Don't do any of that. I just don't. Never have all my life. And then he took that away immediately. He said, go and teach. And I'm like, where do you want me to teach? What do you want me to teach? And all I heard was YouTube. And I'm like, YouTube? What about YouTube? Long story short, that actually has brought me to where I am. However, I was sort of disappointed one day. It's like, okay, the channel's growing slow. I don't know what it's about. I don't know how to do what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go, that kind of a thing. And then I said, Divine, I wanted to go out and be a speaker. I wanted to go out and be an inspirational speaker. I wanted to go out and be a life coach. I wanted to go and be on stages, like on the TED Talk. And I want to go have, be guests on podcasts. And I want to go do this. So why am I not doing this? And you know what he said? I gave you the biggest avenue to be on. You're in the world. And I'm like, oh. He said, you're on the biggest stage there is. And I'm like, oh. So this is when when you're opening up and you're doing your thing. Definitely you're not going around, you are. Which blows me away because a lot of the viewers that I've looked at on my analysis are not from the United States, they're from other countries, which I'm like, really? So you're around the world. So you have to look at this being something of an avenue that you are going to be going around. This is something very spiritual for somebody. Now, for those of you that are not going to be spiritual leaders or teachers or storytellers or something, you're going to be creative in whatever it is that the divine has given you. Maybe your music. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're wanting to be a doctor. Oh my gosh, do you know what healing power you may have and you don't even know it as a doctor? Whatever it is that you decide to do. And even if you are a dishwasher for the rest of your life, you just be the best dishwasher because there is somebody while you're doing that job you are going to be touching. And no job is less than any other job. And if anybody does that, if any of my viewers were to say, well, they just are this, I don't want you on my channel because we need to be lifting every single person up, lifting them up no matter what they do. That's victory. And each person does it alone and works through their fears alone. And that's victory. And when I talk about that, and I say, okay, you know what? But I'm doing everything alone. I'm doing it all by myself. But look at the people. You have to set the example for the person that isn't doing it. You have to set the example for the person that is sitting there in fear, shaking in their boots, that they want to do something, but they're not afraid to, and sit there and say, you know what? If I can do it, you can do it. And if, you know what, it's going to take you to that next level, come on, you can do it. We need to support each other and lift each other up. If we can't, that's pride. That's pride. That means you need to be humble. But this is a story about you and actually lifting yourself up, growing your talents, growing your gifts, and not to stop with you. This is a huge transformation for somebody. This is going to happen within the year. This is going to happen before the end of 2021. Emperor, wisdom. Wisdom. Now, the thing is about the Emperor, he is also earth. But he's also got knowledge and wisdom. And people go to him for advice. So that's what I tell people, is you go to someone to get the advice from somebody who's done it, somebody who's been there, somebody who has the wisdom. You don't go to somebody who has no clue. So a lot of people go to their friends for relationship advice. Oh, I'm going to go to so-and-so for relationship advice. Oh, really? Aren't they single? Didn't they get divorced 3 times? And you're going to relationship advice for them? No, you need to find somebody who's been married 40, 50, 60 years and go to them for advice. That's, like a relationship. You want to get into business, you don't go to somebody who just became an entrepreneur. You go to somebody who's been digging the trenches for years, because they're the ones that are going to tell you, don't do this, do this, stay away from this, don't go into that. You're going to really, really reap your rewards here. You're going to really struggle here. You want that, because this is about the Nine of Cups things. It's something that you want. This is something that you want, desire. Somebody has been praying to do this. It's time. Plant that seed, make that movement grow. All right. Yeah. There's always going to be somebody on your heels that doesn't want you to have it. Ignore them. Ignore them. Somebody is going to be on your heels. Exactly. Thank you. So they said, tell your story about your mom. And my mom, when I began bodybuilding, and also the closest people around me, but mostly my mom at the time. I started bodybuilding. I was 215 pounds. I wanted to lose weight. I just wanted to lose weight, and so I started in a gym, and I knew myself that if I would have stayed in that gym and not gotten a trainer, then I'm just going to lapse and go back to my old habits, because I didn't have the discipline at that point, right? So what happened was I said, okay, I'm going to get a trainer and I'm going to do this right. Otherwise, I'm going to drop. Got a trainer. Trainer asked me, well, what's your goal? Where do you want to be in, say, a year? Where do you want to go? And or what is your goal? And I said, don't laugh, but I would love to be a bodybuilder, just even to compete once. I would love to be, competitive bodybuilder. And I think they look so healthy. They're so strong. They're confident. And he's like, that's what you want? And I said, yeah. He goes, then that's what we shoot for. No laughing, no nothing. So I started training, 215 pounds. My mom was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. It's not going to last. Start trying to sabotage. That's what somebody's going to be doing. It's not going to last. Oh my gosh, here we go. Another yo-yo diet, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, in 1 year, I was on a bodybuilding stage at 136 pounds. I was a heavyweight, but because I'm big boned for one, and 136 pounds, you're considered a heavyweight in bodybuilding. But the thing is that I did it. And I learned who the people I should keep in my life, who I shouldn't, who's going to sabotage me, who's not going to sabotage me, who's going to be there for me through everything that I believe in and I do. And I lost a lot of friends. I even lost my mom for a while because I said, I can't do that. You're toxic. You don't lift me up. You don't support me. Whether I fail or not, still lift me up and support me, because this is still a lesson for me to learn. Whether I need to learn perseverance and resilience and discipline and all that kind of stuff, I needed to learn that. Did I keep going with bodybuilding? Yes. Did I try to keep competing? Yes. Then I got pregnant. So this is really, really important. Somebody is going to be there to sabotage you. Just make sure it's not you sabotaging yourself. All right? All right. Taurus. Because this is something you want, guys, that you're going to have to reach deep, deep, deep down in your spirit, into your intuition. You're going to have to really start digging deep down. That seed's planted. Now it needs the water, the nourishment. It needs the food. It needs everything that you need to give it. But if you don't give it, it's going to die and shrivel up. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Gotta love this, guys. Gotta love this. This is what you want. This is what you've been praying for. This is what you have been praying for. Now, the one thing I'm going to share about the Nine of Cups, this is what you've been desiring, wanting, hoping, praying, whatever you want to call it. However, if you don't take advantage of it, it goes away quick. It won't last. It's like an opportunity that is given to you, and then it's a one-time opportunity. It's like you grab the moment or it's gone. So that's up to you. But if you grab the moment, you're going to be happy, because you know what? It is going to be really, really helpful. Because we have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups. And you are going to leave people behind. because you know what? Those people weren't even really meant to be there in the first place. They're going to feel sad. Why are you not talking to me? When I started bodybuilding, I had to end one relationship with a girlfriend because all we did was go out and drink and dance. And that's all we did. And she was really sad. She goes, how come we're not going out anymore? I said, because I have a different goal. I have a different purpose. I have a different calling. And drinking and dancing ain't going to get me there. Going out and partying ain't going to get me there. But being focused on that goal, focused on my footprint, focused on what I need to swallow in my pride and become humble, I need to do that for myself, because you know what? You got a husband, you got kids, you got everything you want. I don't have anything I want yet, so I can't do this by, and I had to. Did I regret it? Actually, no, I didn't. Actually, it helped me start to find people in my circle I needed to be, that needed to be there. And they came forward to me. So my trainer, best trainer ever for a first trainer in my life. We became friends. We competed together. It was great. It was great. Okay, so 6 of Wands. Fighting. This is standing up for something you really, really believe in. This is a time, guys. This is a time. Why did I put that down? This is a time. Stand up for what you believe in. Ace of Pentacles, an offering. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. All right, Taurus. Let's see what else we got going. Okay, Divine, is there anything I've missed? This is about you guys. This is about your desires, your wants. This is about your footprint. 7 of Swords again. Beware of who is going to distract you. Beware of who is going to put you down. Beware of who is going to sabotage you. Tell you, oh, that's no good. That's not worth it. Oh, you're doing that again. Oh, wow. Did you research that? You didn't even research that. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you with him? Why are you with her? Why are you doing that? They're not living your freaking journey. And you don't need people around that aren't going to lift you up. All right? You just don't need that. All right? All right. So let me see if there's anything else here. 8 of Wands. Don't let fear. Do not let fear control you. And then we have the Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Whoops. There's an offering coming. There is an offering coming. This is a time of transformation for somebody. This is huge. I feel this energy like when I started at 215 pounds. And within 6 months, I went down to 154. And then 6 months later was 136. This is that transformation at about where I was at 154, where I didn't really see it a lot. I mean, I started feeling it. Yeah, 20 some pounds what was it? 35 pounds is a lot of weight. And I felt it, but I didn't feel it inside me. I saw the difference outside, but I didn't see it inside me. This is a transformation process that you are going to blossom. So again, we're going to go back to the garden. You're the plant in the garden. You're the seed. You just planted the seed today. So you plant that seed today, and it's up to you to start keeping it nourished, keeping it up, keep telling yourself the stories of lifting up, joyful, going out and feeling good that you can do this, you can make it happen, you can work it, you can do the steps, you can do the progress, you can do that. Because when I hit that 154 pounds, it was like, okay, yeah, my body's seeing difference. I didn't feel it quite inside. I started to, and I was like, ooh, wow. But people were coming to me in droves like, wow, look at the weight you've lost. Look at what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And people were laughing at me still at 150 pounds saying, wow, where are you going to go with this? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be competing, I guess, in 6 months. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. And let them. You keep working your your plans, working your stories, working whatever you're doing because you're transforming right now. You keep it going, because at 136 pounds a year later, I was on stage. I showed them, but then I kept going. I kept setting that as an example for any woman or man who has low self-esteem, because what I learned through all that process is it is not about my body. What I learned about is we do not focus in on our body when we want to lose weight or anything first. We focus in on our mind and our spirit. We have to start with spirit. We have to go to mind, and then our body will react. But when we get them backwards and we start thinking from our head first, that's when we allow people to come in and sabotage and say whatever they want and be mindful of what they're hearing. We allow those words to affect us. No, the spirit will not allow it. Spirit will not allow it. Welcome, welcome. If you have a question really quick, because I'm getting ready to end right now, I'm going to do the universe cards, and then while I'm shuffling and doing that, go ahead and ask your question, and I definitely will answer for you. Yes. Now remember, if you're in Pakistan, then our cultures are a little different here. However, divine is the same all the way around the world. Okay. So let's see what the planets have to say. Again, the planets are again, if you haven't watched the video on the moon, full moon in Libra, please go back and watch that, because that does do a lot of play in this month of April. So please go back and watch that. There's a lot about balance, a lot about relationships, a lot about love, a lot about being stuck in a rut. If you're stuck in a rut, if you're stuck in a situation and you don't know how to get out of it, or you're stuck, then it will tell you a lot about that. All right? Yeah. Okay, so this is the planets, guys. And the planets are 100% in line with divine. This is about cleaning house. Remember, this is about your footprint. Divine is saying it's about your footprint. And the footprint is, what is your legacy you want to leave? Who are you taking with you as far as energy? Because a lot of people, like, if you're in a relationship and you're seeing two people at one time, you're bringing those energies back and forth, that other energy back and forth. Not a good thing. You got to clean house. You got to get your ducks in a row. All right? You got to look what's in the... Oh, yeah, there is love for Taurus. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lisa. The thing is about Taurus is that if they're in the divine, I'm going to share with you now. There's a lot of tarot readers out there that just do love, and I don't get that, because if there is love in a reading, if divine is bringing love, there may be love. But this is not what the focus of divine wants right now. The divine wants you to focus in on your footprint, your calling, your purpose. But if there is love, he will definitely show love. He will talk about love. He will have you share all about love and relationships and like that. Doesn't mean that there isn't love. But I'm not a tarot reader that says, oh, there's going to be love for everybody, every week, all the time, every sign. That's not practical. Because some people have love of friendships, love of family, love of your partners, love in all different manners. And that's why there's a love video out there. But I personally, am not poo-pooing anybody's tarot, but I don't believe that somebody can read love and every single sign have love every single week. We have love. We have love of ourselves. We have love of divine. But sometimes we need to focus in on ourselves before we bring outside love. All right? Does that make sense? All right, so we do need to clean house. We do need to do some storytelling. We do need to find our purpose. This is the divine saying, what is your purpose? I'm trying to get you to do what I designed you to do and be. And get rid of these people that are holding you back. Get rid of these people that are trying to betray you. Get rid of these people that are, where'd they go? That are trying to hold you back. Oh, isn't that interesting? He's hiding. Oh, hiding, hiding. He doesn't want me to show him. Too bad. Too bad, too sad. Too bad, too sad. All right. And the other thing too is we started out with the divine card. So the highest priestess to the divine. So that in that sense, second energy out is rescuing. This is planets now we're talking about. And again, rescuing is something that is, we don't want to rescue other people. They need to go through their process. We do not want to enable people because we're throwing the balance off of what their lessons are supposed to be learned. So your desire might be really, really there to want to help them. However, you want to sort of like maybe lift them up and give them tools, but you don't do the fixing for them because it throws the balance off. Okay, because this is the number 7, and it's a harmony and improvement. It is a process. This is the transformation for them to take place. They need to have this happen. Even though you can be there supportive, you got to let them go through it. Like having a kid, you can be available, but you know what's going to happen if they make the wrong choice. They make the wrong choice. You got to step back and let them see what's going to happen, because you don't want them to make that wrong choice again. And then they'll come back and say, my friend said, even though you've told them a million times, they're going to say, well, my friend said I shouldn't have done that. Well, I've told you that 20 million times. All right. So then the last card is the Ghost Lands. Ghost Lands is about pretty much doing some shadow work. And that, again, is about your process, making things happen in your process. Again, if you're single, this is the time to work on cleaning your house, which means paying attention to your weaknesses, going towards those and trying to bring those weaknesses to be strong, those fears to be strong, those kind of things. And the divine is there because somebody's going to be a witness or a testimony. For somebody, they're getting themselves ready to actually be a leader or a speaker or a teacher in not only spirituality of some sorts, but others are getting ready in poetry and music and things like that. They're calling. All right. Whew. Taurus, what a reading. What a reading. Just be careful, because there's somebody out there that's really either trying to sabotage you, throw your focus off, get you distracted. Really be mindful of that this week to keep yourself focused on what it is that you need to be focused in on. All right. All right. I love you guys, and thank you. Don't forget to watch the full moon reading. If you're catching this, it is the 31st when I am filming this. For those of you that do celebrate Easter, enjoy it, have it, be blessed with it. And if you don't, then just enjoy the day that you have woke up and you are breathing. Somebody didn't today. So be blessed, and walk in truth and love. And that's divine truth, not earth truth. All right. Stay balanced. Take care.